I thought that climate change is not that important, not that deep. But I'm rethinking my decision. Because at school, they made it in all the exams and life orientation, and they made it sound very important. And back then, I didn't give a damn. But right now, I'm really thinking that it is becoming an issue. With these heat waves and snow appearing in random places on Earth where it didn't happen before, it's just crazy. Like, you think it's not that big because hardly many people have died. There hasn't been that many big disasters that are like worldwide, only in certain countries. But really, flippin' sakes, I think it's going to make the world a flippin' different place. Because maybe it's just because I've watched videos on it and I've been thinking, wow, the world can change like crazy. But this is my conspiracy theory. Honestly, I don't really like I like conspiracy theories, but I know a lot of people don't. But I don't even think it's a conspiracy theory anymore. Because you've seen the heat waves. You've felt the snow. You've felt these changes in weather wherever you are in the world. You've probably, most likely, felt something a bit different within the last few years. And I've really felt it last year. In South Africa, I was like, damn, bruh, it's flipping hot. Like, it's never been that hot. Like, I believe the earth is going to become unbearable. The living conditions are just going to be impossible. I think this because you can already start to feel every year that it's getting a bit hotter in the summers and it's getting a bit colder in the winters. Maybe I'm not correct about this. I don't know, but this is what my theory or what I believe right now is. I believe I might get this wrong in many different ways, but I'm sure that some of it is going to be correct. I feel like the world is going into 3 different areas, and I'm not sure which one. I feel like it's either going to be, and I'm not sure which one. I feel like it's either going to be big wars because people are not going to have enough food, they're going to have water, they're not going to have things that they used to have. Maybe not even electricity. Like, bro, people without TikToks, like, if you're only doing screens, what else do you have in your life? So I feel like it could be war, or it could be free for all. Like, governments collapse. Now everyone's just going to try kill each other and get food and just survive and find ways to survive in the heating and cooling, the changes in the climate. Like, it doesn't sound that serious. I believe that the earth is going to change dramatically. I can't predict the time. I honestly have no clue how much time we have to prepare for this situation. But what I do know is that you've got to start now, because once you can notice that there's something changing and there's a difference, you can decide to learn certain skills that could adapt to this change in the world. So basically, I'm just going to be yapping about things that worry me and things that excite me. I am very interested in this topic. I already didn't care about climate change and weather at school. I honestly couldn't care less. But right now, I'm thinking, if this actually becomes reality, it's going to be pretty damn exciting. I think so. Like, honestly, war is not fun. Free for all is not fun. Government controlling your food resources and deciding what happens isn't fun. But it's a change. And honestly, I like change. I'm bored. I want something new. Even if it's bad and I don't like it, I think change is lovely. And I think adapting and embracing it is the best decision one can make. Because if you just decide to be depressed and decide not to do things and decide, oh my God, everything's going wrong, I hate the world, everyone hates me, then you're just going to die. So I want to live and prosper. And even if it's not a prosperous life, if I have a nice mindset and I love myself and I'm finding something fun, bruh, I think there's something right. If I'm proud in what I do, there's something right. I've been thinking about what's important. What can we act on? What can we do today and every day to help us survive? Because my only goal right now is survival for this apocalypse. I genuinely think there will be an apocalypse within the world while I'm still alive. And I don't think it's far off. If people are already stressing about the weather from being heat waves now and then, like, there was never heat waves when I was a child. I don't remember ever having hot heat waves. Maybe my memory was bad, but I genuinely don't remember there being 30 degrees, 40 degrees like every year. And I don't remember it being crazy floods and snow on the streets. Like, I've never, like, first time I saw snow in Paris, I thought, oh my goodness, because I was so damn lucky. I was there for one day and we saw snow, and it's like hasn't rained in Paris for like 10 years or whatever. So am I thinking as luck, or now am I thinking that it's actually changing the world? Because I don't really like to believe in luck, even though I believe people can be lucky. So what is useful? This is where I've been struggling. I think if you learn how to control water, because water is like literally all we need to survive, besides a lot of other things. But everyone keeps on saying water and survival with groups. Like, you can't do everything by yourself. Maybe you can, but I do believe that lions who hunt as a pack, long ago humans who hunted together with spears to kill mammoths, I feel like they did genuinely get more food and things done, because you can kind of help each other. If you're not that good with something, someone else might be better with that thing, and that way teamwork can improve. So, order. I want to learn how water works, how I can store water, how water filters work, because if there's no good water, if it's dirt and if it's yucky and schmucky, I want to know how to get a water filter and how it works, because I have no clue. I've like never used a water filter or known about water filtering before. I think we learned like use carbon and like put different things in to layer out the water, but I forgot kind of how it works. So kind of nice to learn that again. Maybe I just need to be friendly with a lot of people and just get lots of contacts, because even if you're not great friends with someone, if you know them and you know them fairly well and they know something that is very useful, it could be very useful, then you've got the contacts. You can solve a lot of different things. You can help a lot of different people. And I think that's pretty cool, pretty admirable to know people who know lots of different people, who people come to them because they know people who can help them. I think that's pretty admirable. So I want to try become more of that kind of person. And I'm thinking food, how to store food, how to agricult food, how to create food that is sustainable in any flippin' environment. Because I'm thinking, like, if the world is going to change by weather, all of the crops are going to die, most of the animals are going to die, or we're going to have to be living underground or in space on Mars or something. Because I'm genuinely thinking, like, if we're getting to 100 degrees, animals, imagine trying to keep animals and imagine trying to grow plants. That is going to be flippin' tough. So indoor plants, like ways, they're already making those like indoors with the water filter systems and the heating and that whatever. I'm curious about that, how that works. I don't know if that really be sustainable for the whole planet. I think that at least billions of people will die if my hypothesis is true and the world changes like that, because it's not sustainable unless the government changes the system completely and like everyone has to share resources and the world becomes like you only allow one child or something. I don't know. But honestly, at this rate, I'm thinking it's global warming. I don't really believe in global warming. I believe in climate change, because they changed it. Because you can also see that in areas, there's also increased cold and increased snow and flooding. Like, that is not warming. That is cold. Bruh. So it's not just warming, it's cold as well. I honestly don't know very much about this. I'm very uneducated. That is why my goal for this YouTube channel right now, of this moment, is not to make many videos about other things, except trying to improve my skills and my mindset and my usefulity. I don't even know if that is a flippant word. To improve my usefulness in this changing world, because I believe that this world is going to change completely with this climate. But I think it's very important and I find it very interesting, because if it's true and I do become very prepared, I'm going to have a pretty good time thinking, oh, I know what's going to happen. I know how to not die and get killed by gunshots and gangs, because I can say I'm more useful to you alive. I feel like that is quite a nice thing to say, to be someone who is useful in a lot of different areas. And I feel right now I am very unuseful. I can do things, I can help, but I like to know how things work, and I like to just think of myself as a useful person. I don't know why, but I've always wanted to make money from YouTube, and if I can do it with a win-win scenario, because if the world does collapse and I haven't made money from YouTube, I at least have learned the things. So it's a win-win scenario. If the world doesn't collapse, surviving might not be an important topic at all, because surviving is probably going to be easier with AI and everything. Like, I don't know. I don't know what would happen in the world. And if it does collapse, I can't imagine and I can't guess what is going to happen. I don't want to be making hypotheses. Even though I've already said what I believe that I could be entirely wrong, which is nice to say. So we've got food, we've got skills, we've got water, we've got people. But if a war breaks out, it is nice to know how to use a gun. I don't want to kill people, but if it's necessary for survival, my only goal right now in my head, if this world collapses, is to survive. I have just thought about, I want to be on top. I want to be the boss in this world, the mafia. I want to be the best surviving person. Sure, my mindset might change 100,000%, but right now, I want to thrive in adapting in a changing world. I don't want to be struggling to get food and water and like really not being able to survive. I want to be at the peak of survival. That doesn't mean I have to win. It just means I have to survive. I feel like thinking about ways to make it more comfortable to live in adapting climate is also very damn useful, because it's not easy to live when it's 40 degrees, especially if it becomes 40 degrees every day. I feel like you need to know like what kind of clothes, if you need suntan lotion, like is it necessary, how to make homemade products like soap, suntan lotion, toothpaste, if it's necessary to use those things for survival. Because if you can make those things, like you can save a goddamn lot of money. But if the power outage does go down, and if water is not available because of severe drought, and or if water is too much available because of severe flooding, I would like to know how to prepare and how to survive those situations. Because I don't think that it's far off. I feel like it's already upon us. And I feel like it's just going to get worse. Slowly but surely. Because can you imagine the weather just getting better and not overheating or not overcooling? I cannot imagine a world where people are going to not want to put gases in the air, because we rely so much on products, on buying things, on consuming, on plastic, on making things that we want to use, and for comfort and for pleasure and electricity and screens. It really ruins the environment. So I feel like there isn't a way where it can get better unless government or something changes by restriction or improving. And I don't feel like that's going to happen. Thank you. You don't have to subscribe. YouTube might not be around in a few years, but I appreciate it for just consuming my content, because I want to make it better and I want to make it more useful for myself. And I feel like if you want to improve your life, you got to probably stop watching YouTube. You've probably got to start doing some things that make you proud in yourself, make you feel like you have a point in your life, because I feel like survival is just a pretty cool concept for me.